So today I'm going to take a close look at the Blue Yeti microphone, which I have right here, and you guys can already see on my screen that it's recording as well. So I'm actually using this right now to do this video, and you can see the difference when I switch from the camera's audio back over to the microphone for the Blue Yeti mic. There's a huge difference, no doubt. So what are some of the questions that I get asked all the time about this microphone? A lot of people come to me and ask me, is this something that you would use for YouTube videos? Is this something you would use for streaming? Or is this something you'd use just for interviews? And I've been playing around with this microphone for a little over 2 or 3 months now, and I've got a pretty good guess of what is the best purpose for this specifically. When it comes to making YouTube videos, I would say if you're making a video similar to the one that I'm making right now, where you're this close and the mic is close to you, that always works well. Because you got to remember, the more further away you are from your mic, there's more space in there for other sounds to come in and kind of manipulate when you're speaking. And so in that case, you always want to be close to the microphone. And to that end, you see a lot of people who always have a lavalier mic that's tied to their collar or somewhere in between, which is generally closer and that produces a lot greater sound. With that being said, this microphone specifically is what I use typically when I am doing a screen capture video, if I'm sitting close, again, like the video that we're making right now. And that is pretty much the most that I'd recommend it if you're starting a new YouTube channel. Now, however, that does depend and vary on what your channel is all about. So if you're doing interviews, there's a toggle on the back that you can switch to that operates the microphone from the front and from the back, and all the rest of the sound is actually closed off. So this is great if you have someone in front of you who's speaking to the mic and you're speaking to the mic at an equal distance. It captures the audio and it's very clear as well. Of course, as with any microphone that you use, or if you've been used to using, you're gonna have to go and do a little bit of touch up and get, some decompression on there and noise reduction and take out any of the other kind of stuff that impacts your quality. On the other hand, there's also another setting on the back. It is omnidirectional. And what that essentially does is it makes all the different sensors around in a 360 degree of the microphone activate. So it'll pick up sounds from everywhere. It's not going to just pick up sounds from you. It's going to pick up sounds literally from everywhere. Now, if you see in the back, there's a couple of different settings here. So you can play around with the gain, which is essentially the sensitivity of it. So if you raise it up, it's going to make the microphone quite sensitive. So you don't want to do that too much because you're going to experience a lot of popping sounds. And I typically set mine a little less than half because I usually sit pretty close to the mic. I don't like it being too far away for the purpose that I explained before. I don't want distortion in my quality of my audio. So one of the most popular ones that's used by a lot of YouTubers is the cardioid setting. That one blocks all the sound around of the microphone except the one that's in the front, and that's actually the one I'm using right now. So if you see, the mic is only getting voice from here, and I know that's going to hurt your ears, I'm sorry, but around the back of it, you're not going to have any sound effect that's coming unless you tap it or if someone stands there and literally screams at it because it's sensitive. But it does a great job at blocking it around. So for initial setups, I'd say that it's definitely a good mic. And the last but not least setting on the microphone is the stereo setting. So this is good if you're doing a lot of vocal work and if you have a couple of people, or if you're playing with instruments, things of that nature, really. I haven't played around with that setting too much, so I probably can't give you the most in-depth review of how that functionality works. A lot of people buy this for the sole purpose of using it for YouTube videos and like entry-level recordings and stuff like that. And to that end, I think that this is a really, really good microphone. Now, depending on your style, if you are a streamer, this is definitely something you would invest in. So when I make videos where I'm capturing my screen and trying to show people different things like I did with the last video on the hackers going in Call of Duty, this is the microphone I used to do my voiceover while I was recording my screen with OBS. You'll see people on Twitch, you'll see people doing live streams using this more often than not. Out of the box, you do get a standard USB cable. This is the old school one that used to be used on like PlayStation 3 era. It's not a micro USB, but it is extremely long and it pretty much can go anywhere across your desk. It's ample space for desk, but if you're looking to do across the room, this isn't a microphone that you'd want to be using anyways for that purpose. So when you see shoots of people who are standing like 10 to 15 feet away from the camera making YouTube videos and stuff like that, they're all using those lavalier mics. They're not using mics like this. Or in other instances, they might be using a shotgun mic, which is mounted on top of the camera, which also provides good audio quality. It really just depends. But I think the gold point for the actual Blue Yeti mic is that it is by far the best desktop mic to use for streaming, for recording YouTube videos like this, where it's pretty close to you and you want to get an in-depth view of this, where you are not in the camera view yourself and you have access to it if you're in a small contained environment and not outdoors, because it'll capture a lot of sound. And last but not least, using it to when you're doing screen capture videos and doing voiceovers for stuff like that. I think it's an excellent mic to that extent. What I wouldn't use this for, like I mentioned, is if I'm standing far away from the camera. This is not something that I would use for that purpose. I wouldn't use this microphone for basically anything other than what points I just mentioned. But I do think that for the price tag and for the quality of audio that you get out of it, the different settings that are available on it, these are all factors that are extremely important, and not much competition for this price range is giving you those different options that you get with the Blue Yeti. So to answer my initial question, this does live up to the hype, and I think it's the best $99 that I spent starting my YouTube channel. As you guys know, if you're starting out new, things can get pricey really quickly, and audio is, to me and to a lot of people, just as important as good video quality. So you don't want to skimp out and just use, like the onboard microphone that's in this camera, for example. You want to use something good like this so that people can hear you, because a lot of people are using headphones and watching stuff on their mobile devices, and in that case, you want your audio to sound good. So I would say definitely take a look at it. Go ahead and buy it. There's plenty of reviews out there on YouTube. There's written reviews as well that explain how good it is, and it really is a good mic. So I can attest to that by my own personal use, that this is a solid microphone and it's definitely worth it. So if you enjoy my content, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and if you have a different opinion than I do on the Blue Yeti mic, or if you think that it kind of lacks in certain areas, please reach out to me in the comment section. I'd love to hear your feedback and definitely value that kind of stuff. So go ahead and leave a comment if you find something in this that you don't like or that you do like, if you agree or disagree, and I will reply to you guys as much as I can. Until then, guys, I will see you guys on the next one. So peace out.